All right, guys, it's getting warm here. I might actually be going to the pool. I think they opened up yesterday. But I do want to talk about some things here. So we got Kevin Leandro following my videos. He's like, if you don't want me following your videos, then take my name off. He follows them no matter what, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, I just posted Jordan Peterson again if you want to look on my post. Um, yeah, you can see my bandage from plasma. Anyways, how does this happen when a man hurts a good woman? A fundamentally good woman. And yes, I am a good woman. I had a guy last night at work say, "You're nice." And I'm like, "Well, thank you." And then another guy say, "We appreciate you over here." So, I mean, I got a lot of good people I'm working with too. But anyways, you always get one bad apple, right? One or two bad apples at work. But anyways, I get a lot of compliments for who I am. So when it having a good woman, the Bible Proverbs talks about a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. And I'm always like, it doesn't even talk about what kind of wife he has. It's the very fact he has a wife. It's a good thing. It doesn't talk about whether she's a bad wife, good wife, rotten wife, wonderful wife. It's that he has a wife. Because a lot of men will remarry quickly after a divorce because they feel a gap. They feel like they have some loneliness. They're used to, it's not even about the other woman. They're used to systems. They're used to their, food on the table, clothes, washed, etc. They're used to a certain lifestyle. And if you've spoiled them and you've been good to them, they're hoping to get that from another woman. But anyways, the Bible talks about, finding a wife is a good thing. So anyways, but when you have a good person, fundamentally good, and we're not talking about people who are perfect because no one is, right? And then he does try to destroy her. He actually is destroying himself, is what he's doing. Because he always had a mirror to look at. Your wife is like your mirror. And when you start fundamentally destroying a fundamental institution that God has, whether you're a Christian or not, God has created marriage, you are taking a piece of yourself away. So you're actually hurting yourself. And then on top of that, you're trying to hurt a woman who's given you the benefit of the doubt, who's made sacrifices for you, and you've dismissed them as if they're nothing. You've, hurt her ability to trust again. She doesn't even understand what your problem is. And you go on treating her like garbage when you're not taking responsibility for your actions and you are actually hurting yourself. So, in the fabric of society, I mean, God is the one who has put marriage together. Are there a few times in life, maybe very rare, that divorce can be a good thing? Yeah, very rare though. I mean, usually there's counseling or something. Um, so I was talking to someone about this at plasma, and my blood pressure is still down. I mean, it's like 105 over, 78 or something. It's still down. And this is why I say this stuff doesn't really bother me, because I'm like tough. I mean, I'm like as tough as nails. It doesn't really bother me. I think most women would break and they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, my husband just left and I don't know what to do, and I'm falling apart." But when you've got God on your side, everything's happening for a reason. So, is there anything I want from him? Stormy Llewellyn, whoever that is, was on here saying she must want something to want to be with him after he. I never said he beat me, but after he pushed me, and that's the truth. He did. If I wanted something, I wouldn't have forgiven him after he did that, right? I wouldn't have gone out bowling with him. I wouldn't have gone out to dinner with him. I wouldn't have tried to find housing for him in a hotel. So there's nothing that he gave me. I mean, I was working full time and I was taking care of that home with mostly my check. So I was running the finances at that point because he didn't want me to. He didn't want to. And when somebody says, "Hey, I don't want to deal with the finances," so then you make some decisions and you're like, "Yes, I'm taking the COVID relief funds. and Mike's going to wait on his money. Don't be crying after. You said you didn't want your hand in it at all. But then when some decisions are made and some consequences are there, you're like, well, I'm in my truck. Well, what did you do to help yourself, right? And just because you were like, oh, I was waiting on you to figure everything out, well, sometimes life happens and things take a little bit longer to work out, right? I'm over here in Colorado and I'm looking for housing still, and I couldn't find anything available. So, you could have lifted a finger and tried yourself. And when you did stay with Kevin Ben, you could have made sure you had room for your wife too. And you could have made sure you found a way to make room for all of us. You could have had a conversation. That is where you're at fault. You could have been like, Melissa, I've been in my truck for a while, and, I know you're trying to find housing or whatever, and you can't. So either I can call some people, or there's this guy, I know him from work or whatever, and he's got a place, so why don't I stay there for a little bit until you can figure out with me, how to find housing here. And then once we do that, then together we'll move over here. That's all. That's all. I'm happy Kevin did have a place for him, okay? But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be, oh, he found me a home and now we're done. You know what I mean? He was responsible. And he already had an agreement with me to come over here. So, he already said, I'll send money or whatever, figure it out, yes, and then he breaks his word on me. And so now I have a home where he's not even sending money, and he leaves me. So, that could have definitely complicated things over there with that lease. But luckily, I pulled it together, and we had left there. We were there 2 years, and we made it fine. So, so what do you do when a guy's like this, and then he's still following your social media? This says he's still in love with you, but he doesn't know how to deal with things. Maybe he doesn't even understand what he was going through. Emotionally, he was going through stuff, and sometimes, a wife is there supporting him, loving him when he's going through stuff, and he walks all over her instead of realizing, what, she's the one that I need to get through this. So, I don't know what to say except, what does the future have for a man like this? If he doesn't want to, reconcile, as Kevin said, what does the future have to hold? I'm always going to be there. I'm always going to be here on a video until I die. I'm always going to be part of his life. We have 5 sons together. You can't get rid of me like he'd like to. You can't just get rid of somebody. You can try to kill me, but then you go to jail. So then it's like, what? You bring me to court? Kevin says he's going to bring me for defamation. I'll bring him for defamation. Then what? Right? This is stupid. Arguing over nothing instead of just saying, I was wrong. Let's move forward together. And I was wrong. And if you don't want to move forward together, then go somewhere and don't be on my social media. So, it's just really like, what are you looking for? Are you looking to control me? Are you looking to manipulate me? Are you looking to be right? Are you looking for your narrative to be the only one? What are you looking for? So, yeah. So, it's kind of like, make up your mind. You're either with me or you're not. Don't be like watching my social media and making comments and getting all mad and blaming your wife instead of taking responsibility. It's useless. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of life.